So they'll probably expect it. Maybe they'll ban it. It's up to them really, because Arc Warden is one of those heroes. He's not really like a meta pick. You won't always see him, but he's such a good cheese pick.
Yeah, I think Arc Warden is like this Meepo Brute Mother factor, right? Where you throw it in the last pick and suddenly your enemy have no way or little way to deal with him. And you just snowball the game. 15 minutes in, Brute Mother has the tier 3 factor at 10 minutes. Meepo has like the E-Blade at 12. Then you have the Arc Warden who can just play for an hour and still win.
Yeah. So we're going to have a opening here from Trust. They picked up the slider. I'm loving the slider action we've been seeing the past couple days. This hero is just so highly impactful for the team because he's so mobile during the lanes. Also giving everyone all that minus armor. It's huge because it helps heroes that don't typically scale actually scale earlier. And even into the late game, it just helps them output that extra bit of damage. So for Trust to pick up the slider, this is really awesome for them. Adroit, oh, they picked up the Void Spirit, didn't get banned out, so we're going to have it this round.
Yeah, and you did mention, I believe yesterday, Motivade Trust played a pretty annoying puck. And Adroit did respect that, they banned out the puck on the first phase. I believe that there was a slight nerf to Slada in this latest patch, but I don't think it affected Slada too much.
Not
it's just
really.
Add 25 mana to his Guardian Sprint, you reduce the bash damage and the armor reduction. Slada is still strong at what he does.
Yeah. I've been loving the Ricky picks lately. We haven't really seen him up until recently, and oh my gosh, I didn't realize how useful Ricky was, especially with the smoke screen, the silence, especially on heroes such as Void Spirit where you don't want to be silenced. Absolutely cripples them if they have the lockdown. Slada and Ricky together, absolutely deadly combo. You're giving vision to the Ricky as well, so it's just easier for him to just jump on those squishier heroes. Earthshaker is going to be pretty important. You really want to keep that Ricky away from your teammate, especially your Void Spirit. I'm expecting a defensive support now for Adroit because you want to protect heroes that suddenly get caught inside that smoke screen with the Ricky, and also get away from the Slitherine Crush from the Slider if they end up getting caught.
Yeah. I think for this was the two picks that Motivate Trust had in Game 2 against RR. I wouldn't say that won them the game, but definitely gave them an edge over this Alacrity, classic Alacrity Meepo, right? They had a Magnus in the roster, in the lineup as well. So it was Slada, Ricky, Magnus. They absolutely crushed the late game fight, which led to the win. But Adroit, they banned out the DP and the Viper. I actually like the DP ban. I feel like if you give that to Motivate Trust, they can just run at you with what they have. Exorcism does physical damage, so it kind of adds on to that factor, right? Where Motivate Trust can just bulldoze their way through. But the defensive support, you wanted Winter Wyvern.
Winter Wyvern, really, really good against the Ricky too. Ricky does mostly physical damage, and Slada boosts physical damage as well.
Yeah.
So Cold Embrace from Wyvern going to be really, really important. And also, in particular, Wyvern's ultimate. If you manage to catch any of these heroes with a Wyvern ult, these heroes in general deal a lot of physical damage, so they could actually kill their own teammates if they're not too careful. Because so far, 2 melee heroes from Trust, super easy to get caught with the Winter Wyvern ultimate. So for Trust, they've got to consider their options. Like, do they decide to go for a support that can disrupt the Winter Wyvern? They're going for Lockdown because so far they've only got the Slada for Lockdown. Bane, really, really good. This will make Adroit second guess a BKB because you can grip them with the Bane. Yeah, Bane really strong laner as well. That's something to also consider.
Yeah, and I think the new Enfeeble does slightly change how you play Bane, because you can just cast Enfeeble and extend the disable duration, right? But at the same time, if someone gets caught by the Winter's Curse and there's a teammates around, you can kind of always put that person to sleep so he doesn't attack the target, or you can just grip the Void Spirit. The Void Spirit jumps in, one of the more elusive heroes. You can dissimulate. But if you Fiends grip him, it's easy to kill him off.
Adroit, okay, they picked up the Medusa. They seem to have a really aggressive draft, and then all of a sudden they decided to backpedal and say, we're going to go Medusa.
I guess it's kind of an insurance where if the game goes late, you have the Medusa to back it up. But
and
that
Deuce is also good against Slada and Ricky because when she stone gazes, you got to turn around.
Yeah.
You can't look at that Medusa. And maybe this is where Adroit's going to utilize this lineup when they turned around trying to hightail it from the Medusa. Earthshaker, long range initiation, you can catch out those heroes, and Void Spirit can literally just walk on top of them because he's got so much mobility. Maybe they're going to try and go for pick off in these team fights. Stone gaze, lock them down with your supports, and then you finish them off with the carries.
Yeah, and that was one of the issues I just realized for Motivate's Trust lineup, where there's not much lockdown, right? You're relying on a Slithering Crush, so Slada has to get in your face. You have a Bane who has Nightmare and Grip, but that's pretty much it. Adroit has more reliable lockdown. Winter's Curse, you have the Fissure, even to some extent, the Void Spirit has this long-range Aether Remnant that can pull you in. So overall, I feel like Adroit has a more solid draft, but I think Motivate Trust, with this 4th pick, will kind of round out how they want to deal with Adroit early on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what do you want to put mid for Motivate Trust, because I've seen Ricky mids. I don't think you'd want to be putting him against the Void Spirit unless you really had to. I know a hero that's been very, very popular the past week, OD.
OD.
He's not been banned out. Very, very strong laner. And he's really good for saving heroes if they get caught in the middle of a team fight. You just astral them. It gives your team a little bit of extra time to reposition and maybe even turn on your enemies if they're crowded around the astral target. So yeah, OD is an option. They've banned out the Viper. They got Silencer. Is this a support Silencer?
Yeah, I think it's one of those heroes where you can flex. It can be a silencer mid.
Oh, okay.
It can be silencer mid. It can be support silencer. But I think it should fall in the support role. I don't think it's a good idea to put silencer mid. Unless
core silencer he would need help.
Yeah.
You would have to put the
Like,
Bane with him.
The Void Spirit past level 6 would just dumpster the silencer. So Adroit, they take away this team fight kind of hero. They ban out the Darkseer. So it limits what Motivate Trust can do, because that's what they lack. They have the global silence. You can disengage. You can cut off Adroit's momentum temporarily, but it still doesn't solve the issue where Adroit has just a more robust lineup.
Yeah. This is pretty interesting now. So Adroit, they're expecting an off-lane ban. I mean, Darkseer, really good ban here. It really would have helped the team if they had the Surge. The wall as well would be a bit of a problem. You don't want to be replicating Medusas. They're quite scary. For Motivate Trust though, I wonder what they're expecting. Because so far we need an off-laner for Adroit, unless they have the option of off-lane Shaker if they really wanted to run that too, considering they're running two cores that are pretty greedy. You want to be getting a lot of farm on those two. You don't want 3 farming cores, especially when you're running a Medusa. So we could be expecting the offlane Shaker if that's what they want to do. Night Stalker as the last pick here for Motivate Trust. Okay.
So I think we are looking at a... it could be a support Slada. There is still a possibility.
It could be support Night Stalker too, although I'm not too keen on support Night Stalker.
I think he fell off after like the Void nerf and all the nighttime daytime thing.
Probably.
The changes to that mechanic, because Adroit banned out the Darkseer, so they are definitely worried about an offlaner pick, and they're expecting this Slada to go support. So we are probably looking at the position for Slada and a position to fight Bane. But Adroit with a Tidehunter, perfect way to round out the draft.
I'm looking at Adroit's draft. It looks so much easier to execute. If I had to decide, I'd actually go for Adroit here. Trust's lineup, it's very finicky. You'd have to jump through a lot of loopholes to be able to make things work. Lots of silences. If they hit the wrong silence, there's a reset button on Adroit called Tidehunter.
Yeah, and this is the kind of lineup that Motivate Trust ran yesterday as well. It did work out against RR, but against Adroit, maybe it's a bit harder because Adroit has so many AoE tools to protect the cores. I have to agree with you as well. I think I would prefer Adroit's draft a bit more just because of how well-rounded it is.
Yeah, they've got defensive supports, they have aggression available, they've also got the reset button, the Tidehunter. It seems perfect, but then again, Motivate Trust could surprise us.
Yeah, they could. They did yesterday as well. Same pick, Ricky, Slada. I think the Silencer probably has one of the most important roles in this game because Adroit has 3 reset buttons. You have a Stone Gaze, you have to turn, Motivate Trust have to turn tail if Stone Gaze is up, Winter's Curse to protect the team, Cold Embrace, then you have the Ravage.
And then you have the Shaker as well. He can come in with the Echo if he gets a really early Blink Dagger timing. I want to know the farm priority for Adroit, if they dedicate a little bit of farming time for the Shaker to get an earlier Blink Dagger, because so far their initiation, some people would say Tidehunter is the initiator here, right? But I actually feel like the Shaker is the one that's going to be starting all the fights. They're going to be keeping the Tidehunter back. And one of the benefits of running a Tide, right, is that he has the same essence as a Enigma. Just existing in the team fight is putting pressure on the enemy because you don't know when that Ravage is going to come out.
Yeah, same with the Black Hole, same with the Chronosphere. Like,
it's just one of those big ultimate heroes you just got to be careful around.
It's those kind of scenarios where in the comms, if you play pubs or even sometimes in high-level games where just having a void, let's say a void existing, the comms will probably go somewhere like there's a void, chrono, and you don't really want to commit because if the void shows up and he chronos or the tide shows up and ravages, that's pretty much the turning point for a fight, right? So I think one of the major issues that Motivade Trust have to address is how do you engage onto Adroit.
That's the thing. We'll see if they can do it though, because one thing I do like about Trust's lineup is that they've got amazing pick-off if Adroit isn't 5-manning.
Yeah.
It's super easy to just pick their lineup off because you've just got all these little burst damage moments here with Trust. So we'll have to see for now. I want to see the lanes. Is it offlane Night Stalker? It looks like it might be. Oh, but Slardr's going in the offlane too.
So it's a mid lane Dusa, it's a Shaker and Tide. Okay, I think they're putting the offlane Slardar. Offlane Night Stalker and a support Slardar. So Slardar's gonna start off with the Hedges. It's kind of debatable whether you want to start with the Hedges or the Buckler, but I think the Hedges in this particular matchup is fine because you are dealing with the Void Spirit and Winter Wyvern, so the Hedges does give you a bit more insurance. What's the first skill of Winter Wyvern again? The HP burn basically goes through Buckler. Arctic burn, there we go.
I play Wyvern, actually cannot believe I don't remember.
I kept thinking it was like Winter's Bite or something, but
no, Winter's Bite, interesting.
It's kind of
Arctic burn. I prefer Arctic burn.
Arctic burn.
Thank goodness you don't make skill names, because that would be a bit of a disaster.
Doesn't sound too bad, I guess.
Look, if anything, if you ever made a name for a Dota hero, I could believe you naming Snapfire. That sounds like something you would name her.
Yeah, I actually would. Snapfire is a really cool name.
The battle begins.
Alright, so it looks like the runes, we've got no rune battles. It's gonna go evenly to both sides.
I actually like how Ice Frog decided to change where the runes are, because it really spices up the bounty rune battle. But in this case, I think Adroit are fine with just getting being even in that department, because you can't really fight early on with this lineup.
Yep.
So I just want to give Nasumi the priority. He also has been one of the spotlight players for Adroit for a pretty long time.
Yeah, and he can get away with this mid too. I mean, mid silencer. What's silencer gonna do to a Medusa? Which is a really tough cookie to nail in lane, unless you're something like an OD where you can heavily pressure with strong right clicks. It's just not that easy to push out a lane.
I guess the first 3 levels is okay for Fearless because you do steal int away and you do pure damage. So Medusa players don't go mana shield at level 1. So Fearless can kind of get away with those trades.
He's going to have to do it early though, because once Natsume gets levels, it's going to be tougher to just take him out. We'll keep an eye on this lane, but I don't expect any first bloods to happen because there's no lockdown between these two.
It's just going to be a trade game, and Natsumi is just trying to secure as much range creep as he can, and also get those denies in. But Silencer mid, surprisingly, is pretty strong because of how Glaives of Wisdom works. I think it's better than it was before. This gives it a bit more trade potential.
Ice Frog trying to lean towards more mid silencers. I'm not a fan yet, but then again, we're probably just waiting for that one person to specialize in mid silencer, and then
Thompson did do it, I think.
He'll be a thing. That's not enough. You need someone like a Jurax. You know, you get famous because of mid silencer.
Wait, dare question the 100% win rate at TI? But yeah, Thompson did it, I believe, on his stream.
Hey, look, let's be real, okay? Thompson's on, like, you could argue the best team in the world, so he's not really that good at demonstrating the power of silencer. You need to make that person the spotlight. Boomy coming in to help out Natsume. This is what Medusa needs. Just have Shaker come in, annoy silencer. Natsume's going to catch up with CS.
Yeah, that is pretty nice for Natsumi as well.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The Medusa's not completely shut down yet. And the Shaker looks like he's going to stick around too, so there's going to be some pressure on the silencer. Top lane though, ooh, CML.
Even with the Earthshaker coming in, you can see that Fearless has more last hits than a Medusa. He does, because of the Glaives of Wisdom, right? More base damage, pure damage as well, easier to last hit. So the Shaker has to constantly do this. This time you block Fearless out, so Fearless
there's creeps here too.
Forced to trade with Natsumi. And TP is coming in from the Bane though. Fearless tries to walk it off. He should be able to get out. Mystic Snake comes through. There is the Fairy Fire. Great Nightmare to keep Fearless alive, and he should be able to survive this.
Would have needed at least 2 to 3 right clicks to kill him with the Medusa, but not quite. Shaker wants to try and block him in again.
Oh, he has a fissure.
Yeah, do you think they can get him? I don't think so.
Nah.
They don't quite have the damage between him and Medusa. Although Boomy, the courier! Oh no, that was Boom.
Well, Boombell's courier decided to take a trip.
That's not fun. You don't want to lose your courier.
But they get the crush, a bash from the Slaughter. They want to kill him off. You do have the Splinter Blast though, one last Void. Great Aether Remnant to stop Masaros, but still Boombell drawing first blood onto Boomy.
Boomy stuck around a little bit too long, unfortunately, so first blood is gone. But Natsume managed to get the lane though, so even though they lost the support, I think Natsume is in a pretty good position now. He's level 4.
Yeah, level 4 Medusa. I think Medusa kind of peaks when you just get the triple wave ban and the Dragon Lance. But Q is going to be super annoying. I think is one of those heroes where, yeah, Co-Embrace does stop physical damage, but in terms of trading, this Lala is going to out-trade you any day, and it's been keeping this Winter Wyvern at bay for the majority of the laning phase.
Yeah. The good news so far for Trust is that they are surviving the laning stage. Ricky's on top of the CS chart, so he's getting ample farm. Not really pressured. Sure, Tidehunter's a really good laner when it comes to pressuring heroes, but he's not really pushing out Ricky from lane at all. Box been occupied. Oh.
Oh, what a great
Oh,
block.
that was nice.
He prevented the entire pool, so great game sense by Boombell in that department, and Adroit trying to make another pull in the top lane. This one does go through.
Yeah. Trust can't really do anything there.
Courier.
Another one? Oh
That's
my
the bash
goodness.
as well.
Wait, where
Slightly
was that
tragic.
courier going?
Trying to deliver the item to the Void Spirit. They probably...
Gotta pay attention to your couriers. You can't just let those go for free.
Oh, but they found CML again. Aether Remnant's going to keep Q in place for now, but they just need one more Void. And it's nighttime, just in time as well. Marcels gets the kill.
Feeding time for the Night Stalker. Unfortunately for Night Stalker, this was a while ago when they changed the day and night system. Night Stalker is a little bit weird because he can't go hunting on the first nighttime anymore. It's normally the second or third night times he wants to spend more time in lane farming. I really want to know what IceFrog wants to do with this here, because Night Stalker's in just a very precarious position, because it seems like IceFrog wants to make him sort of this like hero that comes into the middle of the fight, disrupts everyone and makes you fear the nighttime, but that doesn't really feel like what Night Stalker is. He just seems so weak until you hit the 10-minute mark when he starts getting items, but after then, like, you've got items to protect yourself from the Night Stalker, and you've also got your own supports to come in and help out too. So I don't understand the thought process when it comes to this Night Stalker. Like, what do they want to do with it? Is it the silence that they want to utilize?
Yeah, I think the first major hit to Night Stalker was how the interval between daytime and nighttime is 5 minutes instead of 4.
That was a bit greedy.
Pretty interesting by Mac. So, pretty sure.
Did he want to go back to Fountain?
No, because Resonant Pulse doesn't block magic damage, and he took the first Void in the face after using Resonant Pulse, and he still thinks that, oh, it's okay to stick around. But Night Stalker was level 5, so that Void does a huge amount of damage.
Probably miscalculation there. I don't think he would have done that if he knew what was supposed to happen.
But that was a big mistake. It really does cost costed the Void Spirit an entire wave. And Night Stalker during the first night time, normally he doesn't get a kill because of all the changes that he got hit with. But with that lead, now Void Spirit cannot really trade with this Night Stalker anymore.
Night Stalker trying to roam around, but it looks like Boomy may have spotted him out, so they're expecting this Night Stalker to come on through.
Oh, this is just so great. They push Nasumi out of the lane completely. This guarantees Fearless.
But top lane is free though, so they're letting the Void Spirit farm. And even though they're trying to stop this Medusa from farming, Medusa has not been stopped at all. She's at 41 CS. She's actually over the Silencer. Yeah, Silencer's gotten a lot of denies, but you're not denying the Medusa farm.
Oh, Mac getting his revenge.
And this is what happens when you leave your support from that top lane. You leave that top lane completely exposed, especially against a Void Spirit. And another courier goes down. Oh my goodness.
And he does use the ultimate as well. Masaru says, no, just trying to annoy Natsumi, right? So he went into the jungle to spot out where this Medusa is. Boombell is there as well. They're willing. another courier. Oh no, it's the Ring of Basilisk this time.
So is this the strat? They're just gonna snipe couriers with the Night Stalker.
And they lose Boomy.
Oh my goodness.
So even though Nasumi's been getting farm, they force him out of the jungle. Sure, they lost the support, but it's just a support starter. And bot lane was completely freed up, so Shaker's not again.
And another
Three
courier!
couriers in a row by Masaros in the span of 1 minute.
If this guy doesn't get MVP, I don't know what you'd have to do to get MVP.
Most courier snipes in a single game.
Yeah, probably. He'd get an award. Someone give this guy a medal. This is...
They actually, Motivate Trust actually killed off 4 couriers. One was taken out by Q,
Yes.
and the rest was taken out by Masaros.
3 in the middle lane. 3!
How did they not
You would've
redirect the
suspected.
courier?
Yeah. I mean, they're still walking couriers, I suppose. They're a bit slow.
Oh, Arcane Ring, so good. I'm gonna collapse onto Bok. He does have the Kraken Shell.
And he's tanky. He's not that easy to take down.
Now you have to TP the Void Spirit bot. Now it's Q's turn to have freedom farming. DD rune on Masaros again. You can see Natsumi now has been cornered towards his the large jungle, the safe lane jungle. But this Night Stalker is just gonna keep hunting.
Yeah, I think they see him too.
Oh, it didn't block him out completely though. They had to plan like early observer wards.
Seems like he's second guessing, worried that Shaker might be leading him to a possible gank. He's going around the long way. He'll see Natsume global silence.
Well, Silencer getting ganked on Fearless. This is gonna trade with the Tide Hunter. So Bog goes down, +2 INT. He trades his life back. I would say worth.
Yeah. It's the mid for your offlane Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter will be able to catch up with farm. The sad thing with Silencer is that this hero is not a farmer. You don't want to be spending too much time farming in lane or in the jungle. You want to be trying to be as active as possible to create space for your own carries, such as your Ricky and even for your Sada to get some time to farm. They're going to try and converge here onto this poor Shaker. It looks like he's not getting out of here.
Yeah, Boom is definitely dead. Masaros one last hit. Killing spree for the Night Stalker. TP coming in from Bog a bit too late. Does have the Ravage, but it's not going to do anything much. So not enough damage from Bok as well. And this is the strength of Motivate Trust. Sure, Adroit has this big ultimate, but you gotta wait until late game, right?
Yeah, you don't want to use it too early as well. If you use a Ravage in a situation like that, if you can't guarantee a kill with something as big as a Ravage, that's a huge opening for Trust to just go in there and fight Adroit, because Ravage is their biggest ultimate.
Yeah.
Medusa, if she comes in and tries to Stone Gaze, she does nothing in those fights at all anyway. And unfortunately for Shaker, he's not good enough as of yet. He needs more levels. He still needs his Blink Dagger or Force Staff to really be impactful in the team fight. So right now, Adroit, they're in a very vulnerable position to just be absolutely run over by Trust if they're not careful with their movements.
Yeah, I think Trust needs to do it a bit more. They've done it. They've managed to push the Medusa back every now and then.
Still farming,
but
though.
she's still farming. I think they need to take the side lane towers. I feel like that is probably the most important.
Or they could try and invade the jungle with the Night Stalker, and you're running a Ricky as well. These guys are special. They're assassins when it comes to snipes. They are the best heroes to send in, but they're still farming with the Ricky. I guess it wants to finish up the defusal first. Big item. It's going to be a huge game changer when Adroit sees that.
I feel like it's really important for them to take down the safe lane tower of Adroit side. They already took the mid lane tower. If they take the safe lane tower, you limit the Medusa to just 3 camps, where the Ricky will be lurking in that quadrant. So that's what I feel like Motivate Trust needs to accomplish right now. So you open up the jungle, because Natsumi is still farming, right? She has the Morbid Mask as well. So you cannot, the creeps won't be pushing her out of the jungle anytime soon.
Yeah, and you have to know that Adroit will never want to fight E5 on 5 right now. They'd want to avoid as many engagements as possible.
Oh, the Aether Remnant actually saved Masaros. And now Kill comes in, does have the corrosive haze. They want to do something to the Night Stalker, but he just turns around with the Void. And now they also feed Green Mac as well. That is the control that we've been talking about. They bring in Jackie, they see CML, they put him to sleep. They want to go for Mac first. Resonant Pulse comes in, not Simulate. They get the Void Spirit, and they will bash out CML and bring this dragon to its feet. 3 kills for Motivate Trust.
That fissure actually made everything go sideways for Adroit. If it wasn't a bit of a better angle and they were allowed to back on out, it could have been completely different. But they tried to fully commit. They knew they were locked in there, and they just couldn't get what they were looking for.
It was unlucky the Aether Remnant controlled the Night Stalker. They wanted to finish him off. Bane came in with the Fiend's Grip, and the Aether Remnant pulled Masaros over the fissure. So Adroit at that point knew that they had to fight, but the Winter Wyvern was a bit too late.
Yeah.
And had no Winter's Curse.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Winter Wyvern not level 6 yet. This is one of the scary things. If you focused on your other teammates and then one of your defensive supports hasn't hit level 6 during a crucial team fight, that's a spell that you don't have available.
Yeah.
Winter's Curse would have turned that fight around. It would have been able to keep them in place and provide them more distance to just get away. But yeah, they need to get that level 6 on the Wyvern if they can. But you can see like this is one of the problems that Adroit's running into. Medusa has to farm. So does Void Spirit. Both of these heroes are very, very heavy when it comes to farming. And what do you have left for your supports? You don't really have anywhere else for them to go. And the lanes aren't safe. We've seen them actually get ganked in lane as well.
And at the same time, Motivade Trust, off of that one fight, they managed to take out that top tier 1. So now Natsumi cannot farm in the jungle anymore. Adroit have completely lost vision control in that safe lane jungle, forcing this Medusa to go down to the triple camps, the triple large camps, and he went for Mass of Madness. So this Medusa won't be ready anytime soon to fight. Also killing out the Manta as well.
That's a farming Medusa if I ever saw one. Oh, mid lane.
Oh no, yeah, he's not gonna make it out. They have nighttime, they fiend screen him out. Smoke screen as well.
The TP instantly cancelled as well. They knew they couldn't save that Void Spirit. And now Medusa's on the run. Natsumi is just hoping they don't see him.
Oh, and
but
they
do. Oh no!
It's the 4th one for the Night Stalker.
Oh dear.
Then collapse again, and Master is just buying time on the high ground. They do have the vision though, and here comes the Ravage. Catches her onto the Night Stalker, fissure him out. They give the kill to Natsumi. But Jackie is there. They have the sentry. What? Great nightmare. And Jackie's gonna get out with tricks of the trade. Stone Gaze and Echo Slam wasted. But Jackie is still vulnerable. They have the sentry.
Can they chase him though? They need a fissure.
Master Madness, he needs one more Blink Strike. 2 more, yeah, 2 charges. He's out.
Can they? Oh, he's really getting out of there. There's no way they could catch them. Oh, turn
Winter's
around.
Curse. They found the Bane with the Winter's Curse, but Global Silence. Aether Remnant is out onto Q, but Q is just going to start running at the Medusa. They put the time to sleep. Mac has nothing else left. He jumps in with the Astral Tap with the Fearless, though Fearless running out of mana. They gush him out, the Fissure to finish him off, but can Mac get out? Uses the Simulate, has the Aether Remnant, and he controls the Slardar. Meanwhile, Night Stalker is back to the party, and it's going to be Natsumi's turn to prove himself. 2 buybacks coming out from Motivate Trust. They actually control the Ricky. Tricks of the Trade comes out as well. They do not have the damage this time, and it seems like Jackie might not be able to get away. Another Fissure from Boomy will kill off the Ricky, and Motivate Trust on full retreat. 2 buybacks, 4 dabs. Adroit take the win.
2 forced buybacks, and they just couldn't get back into the team fight in time either. So that's a huge loss of gold going in the way of Trust. 2.6k gold swing. Oh my goodness. And most of it going to the Shaker. He got 1k gold. He's almost got his Blink Dagger. It's 15 minutes in. That's a huge boon for Adroit.
Yeah, and
at first at the beginning, it looked like they committed a lot of ultimates. They used the Ravage to lock down the Night Stalker. They even used the Stone Gaze as well. They weren't able to successfully stone anyone, but they still managed to control the team fights. I think Trust, their biggest weakness there was they just all came in one by one. They all just got picked off before they could team fight together.
I don't even think that they should have committed to that. They should have just let the Bane and Silencer die.
It was just the Night Stalker. They could have left the Night Stalker to die and they would have been fine.
Yeah, because even after that, right, they got the kill. They got the kill that they needed. Ricky was getting out, but when the Winter's Curse came in, I felt like Motivate Trust on their side had the impression that they can commit, and it just went really bad. Earthshaker got an instant Blink Dagger because of that fight.
Yeah.
But
they do get the Roshan though, because there's no Tidehunter Ravage, there's Stone Gaze on the Medusa now, but it's a little bit too late. The Aegis, I don't really see Trust being able to do anything with it after that fight. I think it's a little bit too soon to try and re-engage into Adroit, especially once they've gotten some of these big items from that last team fight. But they are trying to secure control of the top half of the map. But does it really matter? I mean, Trust, they have control of the top, but look at where Adroit is. They're in the bottom side of the map. They're free to farm.
yeah, and Adroit has been getting some pretty juicy neutral items. They got the Imp Claw, they got the Vambrace, and they got the Nether Shot. So Medusa has a couple of choices to go for. Natsumi, I would personally prefer the Aquila, the Vambrace more, but Aquila does fine as well, as long as you can kind of keep this Medusa alive. They were not able to damage Natsumi too much, even with the Corrosive Haste, because of Adroit's utility. So I think Adroit can now start to siege those lanes, even with the Aegis on Motivation.
Oh, they're coming in from the backside though. I think they're going for Boomy.
Global Silence is up though. Who do they find? They find Mac again with another Fiend's Grip. And now Earthshaker tries to blink away. Here comes the Stone Gate and everyone is going to turn tail. They have the Arctic Burn onto Masaros, who has, again, nighttime. So he takes flight and they found the Winter Wyvern. The Winter's Curse not able to catch out onto Jackie. And it's going to be Resonant Pulse again coming in with the Ravage. But Bomb misses that completely. 2 buybacks from Adroit. And this time it's their turn to expand the buyback. But they might find Q though. Q is isolated. Aether Remnant pulls him back. Double kill for Mac.
So again, more buybacks. There's a lot of buybacks this game. But for Adroit, they've got to be happy with that fight. They're the ones that are free to go into the late game. Whereas if you're Trust, looking at these fights right now, you've got to be concerned because you're in a timing window. You're up against a Medusa. You're up against a Void Spirit. And you're also up against a Shaker, which He's actually one of the best late game supports you can ever hope for.
Yeah.
So much disruption, especially if you can get an Aghanim Scepter as well. Blink Ags, lots of mobility, lots of stuns, and you've got some very frail heroes on Trust. Bane doesn't want to get stunned, neither does Ricky. He just melts in the wind if he gets caught up with any disable. So if you're Trust, you're going to have to figure out, how do you take control of the game? How do we get control of the map, but also not engage into Adroit as 5? Because so far the solution for Adroit is group up together as 5. We've got all the team fight. We've got all the AoE control. You can only pick us off one by one.
Yeah, and good news for Natsumi, he got his Manta. So 2 big team fights, he survived through all of that. Regardless if he got a kill or not, he did get the goal. So Mac being jumped on again. This time he has no buyback though. Astro Step. Can Jackie find him? No, he can't. But if they dust him out, have the Aether Remnant out, Jackie will be forced to retreat.
That was very close.
Yeah.
Oh. They're thinking about it, but after seeing everyone grouped up, you got to be second guessing this if you're Trust. They need to pick them off one by one. But Adroit's playing this so well. They're protecting their carries.
And now Adroit needs to take that outpost from Motivade's Trust side, and Shaker is going to do just that. So TP coming in from Night Stalker. If they can secure these 2 outposts, it will be great for them. Even though in the last fight it looked great for Adroit, Motivate Trust still got a bit more in terms of experience.
Is that experience enough though? Because they're only leading by 4k gold, which against a Medusa and Void Spirit, that's not a lot. You want to be leading by 10k, you want a huge EXP difference between both teams, but it's too close. One more team fight and Adroit's basically on par with Trust on Trust's farm, because they've got heroes that are constantly farming. This Silencer is still farming. I'm still wondering, what is Fearless's role here? Because so far, he is basically just the silence bot. He comes into the fight, he global silences, and that's it. He doesn't provide any more utility for the team. He doesn't really come in for DPS as well, just because if anyone jumps on him, he melts like nothing.
And look at Adroit. They, Boomy went for an instant jam, 20 minutes, so very early jam. They understood that Motivate Trust are opening up the map to take control of the jungles, so Natsumi cannot farm, so they need to regain control of their own territory. And Motivate Trust need to be careful of this. That early jam could really spell doom for them, especially this Ricky who wants to walk around and just gank people.
We got some items picked up though. Hurricane Pike on the Silencer, and then Ricky, I believe, got Manta Style, I think. Yeah, he just picked up the Manta. He's got the Aegis as well, so he's got a way to possibly dispel some of these debuffs, but it's still a tough game. This Ricky's going to need a BKB if he's going to have any more impact in this game, because the stuns are what's killing him.
They have to be careful though. Jam is on the TIE Hunter. I think Motivate Trust still don't know this yet. Aegis has expired. This is not the time for them to fight, but they are smoked up. Trying to go for the wraparound. Adroit smoked out as well.
They're on the high ground. They got high ground advantage if they can get the vision. But because everyone's smoked, no one knows where anyone is. They know a Medusa. Yeah, but they gotta suspect like there's no one showing on the map.
Yeah, they should know. It's a really big wraparound. Winter Wyvern is in a pretty good spot. Jackie cannot reach him. So here we go, nighttime. They do have the jam. Instant Ravage coming out. Jackie got caught on the side. Aether Remnants dodge as well. They put the TIE Hunter to sleep. No Ravage, but they still have the Winter Skirt. Here comes Global Silence. They need to finish all the Medusa immediately, but the use keeps Jackie on top. Medusa runs out of mana though, and there goes your killing spree. Another Blink Strike onto Bob, who does not have any skill. Tricks of the trade. They're gonna do as much damage as he can. Pretty tanky TIE Hunter. They lose the Winter Wyvern in the back line, and Adroit forced to retreat. Fissure comes out. Jackie not wanting to go for more, but Adroit managed to save the gem.
That was beautiful coming out from Trust. They forced out a very, very early Ravage that basically caught nobody. I think he just caught the Night Stalker just on the edge of the Ravage.
And the
so
Ricky.
with the Ravage gone, there's nothing to stop them from just coming in and just going ham on the Medusa. Wyvern was on the edge, but the Global Silence was popped before they did the lockdown.
Yeah,
and what can you do? There's no Greaves on the Tide Hunter. He needs to get rid of the silence.
This is so well done. They put the TIE Hunter to sleep again. I don't think they can kill him off just yet, but they know that there's a gem on Adroit's side. And Masaros alone, even before the Global Silence came out, he used a Crippling Fear and just ran at the Winter Wyvern. So you keep the supports away from Natsumi, who cannot Stone Gaze due to the smoke screen. They just made it look so easy. A great attempt from Mac with the use, but just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know why Bok has decided to go for the Force Staff first rather than going for the Guardian Greaves, because you really want to purge off that silence as quick as you can. The Force Staff, yeah, maybe it would help someone get out, but
I think Force Staff is slightly better because the silence can be purged off if it's single targeted, but both smoke screen and crippling fear are AoE, so your Guardian's Greaves is
But
not.
the thing is, they're saving the smoke screen for the Medusa.
Yeah.
So if they're using everything to kill the Tidehunter, then that means the rest of the team should be able to sort of get into a better position.
I think Force Staff still does slightly better
It's
because of
very
how
situational.
because of how fast Motivate Trust are playing, right? You can't really purge off the silence when it's at AoE. I think both are fine. Adroit probably recognized that without the Force Staff, it's hard to get out of smoke screen situation when assuming it was caught out. So it's probably better to go Force Staff. Then you go back for the Greaves.
Oh, boomy.
Oh, instant echo. Jackie. Do they have enough damage? Astro
Yes.
Step, yes. No hesitation from Boomy at all.
That's the life of Ricky. Sometimes you just die.
Just
That's it.
drops the bomb on the Ricky.
Must feel good for the Shaker as well, because you got bullied quite a bit by the Ricky earlier on.
And if you have the Shaker, the Planet Shaker set, you see the numbers. You hear the jackpot, right? That's a huge creep wave from Adroit side, from Motivate Trust side.
And for now, Adroit, they're still farming. They're still finding space to farm. They're not afraid of Trust yet. And this is not good news if you're Trust. You want them to be afraid and to not really move from their side of the map, but they have the vision. They've got heroes with items that can come in and save them just in case. We've got a BKB coming up on the silencer, so we might start seeing Fearless actually be fearless in these fights.
Yeah,
He's been on the edge so far.
I think it's still okay. Plus 10 intelligence as a mid lane silencer, not too bad. Was expecting slightly more, but that BKB definitely will allow him to contribute more to those fights. I think he's still the CC bot, the global silence bot, but he's getting scarier and scarier. The silencer with levels is actually pretty hard to deal with.
But so is Natsume. Natsume's level 18, and he's now top of the net worth.
And he has a butterfly, and he just got a Titan Silver. Yeah, he's gonna use that immediately.
Yep, he's got a lot of stats, and you gotta be worried here if you're Trust, because soon the Medusa's gonna require a lot of resources to kill that. Let's say you blow up the Medusa. What do you have left for the rest of the team?
Yeah, I think that's what Motivate Trust was kind of figured out early on, where you just blow the Ravage from Adroit before the fight started, you stick onto Winter Wyvern, you get the Global Silence out, but it's going to get harder and harder to do because everyone's just getting tankier.
Yep.
I think for Motivate Trust, I kind of miss the old Ricky smoke screen where it slows your turn
We're
rate.
getting an engagement.
Here we go, Global Silence, immediate nighttime, they blink in, they're going to isolate the Winter Wyvern, Earthshaker also kind of useless, they're going to force that the Winter Wyvern away, Ravage now gets used, they're going to jump on the Ricky, Astro Tech comes in, they get the Slaughter, they get the Echo Stab and the Fissure, Jackie down for the count as well, and Adroit take a massive fight.
This is why you don't 5v5 Adroit. If you can't lock down the Wyvern and the Tidehunter, there's going to be counter initiation. Someone's going to die. And I think Trust, they had to learn the hard way. They tried to go in, they thought, oh, Global Silence is enough, we should be able to kill them off. They left the Tidehunter alone, they couldn't kill the Medusa fast enough, they didn't quite get to the Wyvern in time, and everything just went to heck.
Yeah, and what a TP cancel from Boomy. I think they know Masaros is in there. Here comes the Remnant. Oh, they drop a Tinker War. Now they definitely know that he's there.
Oh no, Masaros, he thought he was safe. He just
He's
succumbed to death.
Yeah. Ultimate Rana, you
A
can't
very
really fly.
slow death.
I would say that they used the Global Silence, but that's where the Force Staff came in. Double Force Staff, saved the Winter Wyvern for longer than he should have survived. And now it's just Adroit in the driver's seat.
Well, now we've got Roche attempt here. This is our second Roche of the game as well, going into Adroit, and you give this to you give the cheese to the Medusa, and then who would you give the Aegis to? Void Spirit?
Yeah, I think either way is fine. I think you give the cheese to Medusa.
Because I don't think Medusa needs the Aegis. She's tanky as is. They've got the Force Staff to protect her.
Yep, the Power Force Staff. They didn't even need Greaves for that one. You just need to wait out the Global Silence.
It could have been different, I think, if they had the Greaves on the Tidehunter, but we can't talk about that now. They have the Force Staff. It's working so far.
So
That's the most important thing.
Aegis on Medusa. She's gonna go for the Lincoln.
Lincoln's into Divine Rapier.
And it seems like they found Fearless again. They're gonna put him to sleep this time. Mac just completely recovered from the early game mishap. He's wicked sick at this point.
Yep, now they're leading by 4k.
And he's queued up the Shiva's Guard. So this Void Spirit A lot of damage with the Solar Crest and is super tanky as well. That's where your support Slardar falls off.
Greaves are coming up now on the Tidehunter too, so now not only can he save a teammate, but now he can Greaves off the silence too. All these solutions are coming up for Adroit, whereas for Trust, what do they have? They don't really have too much going in their favor unless Adroit accidentally group up and just get caught for a, what, 3-man crush?
Oh, they force out Masteros backward, they get to 8 the Remnant, but the Nightmare's gonna save him for now. Flager to follow up, dissimulate on top of him. Here comes the Slithering Crush, another Fiend's Grave. Oh, they've never committed. Winter's Curse and Ravage comes out, but they need to get a kill in return though. They have the Stone Gaze to kill up Q, and the Echoes then comes out as well. 4 big ultimates for 2 kills. And I would say that is definitely worth for Adroit.
Yep, they used everything. They used Ravage, they used Winter's Curse, they used Stone Gaze. Everyone just dies.
Yeah, and the best part is about the Winter's Curse. Hold on, another Blinking Crippling Fear, another Force Staff to keep the Winter Wyvern alive. Cold Embrace this time. Adroit should be able to disengage, but Q is still looking for an opportunity. Fearless.
They've got silence, and there's no ultimates on Adroit. So Adroit, they are stepping over a line here if they want to continue trying to push up high ground.
2 buybacks. All 5 members from Adroit are up, so I don't think Motivade Trust. They can fight this without the big ultimates, but they have to be really careful. They found it again. Blinking, Crippling Fear, 3-man crush, 3-man silence. They get the bash, but Cold Embrace is going to keep Boomy alive. Jackie waiting for opportunity to go right in, but now Master is going to buy time. They get the use. Double Silence comes up, but the Great Ghost Scepter not enough. The Brace that kills him off. They're going to put the Medusa to sleep. Tricks of the trade. 2 kills for Motivate Trust, but can they get more? This time Winter Wyvern, target number 3. They have Corrosive Haze, they have the Void, they have the bash. Double kill for Jackie.
Oh, they got
and
the
they got
Medusa!
Nasumi with the Nightmare. Masaro's going to blink forward just to disrupt the Tidehunter with the silence. Nasumi is shooting him down though. They get the buyback out. Nasumi out of mana. Winter Wyvern has to come back to the fight, but he does have the Aegis, so they'll burn that first. Go on to Bok as well. Great force there. They bash him up. Corrosive Haze again kills him off. And now they put Nasumi to sleep once more. They kill the Tidehunter. Plus 4 intelligence, 4 fearless. Once again, Winter's Curse is out, but Masaros found the Winter Wyvern. There's a buyback. Stone Gaze came back off cooldown. That's how long the fight was. They silenced up the Medusa. They will let him go. But it's a big win for Motivate Trust.
Adroit, they stuck around for way too long. They had no ultimates left. They used it in that fight.
They're
And
still
now
going. No mana.
they're too close to base. Too
Yeah.
many heroes are coming back. If they tried to go for that, they may have given away some kills. But Trust, realizing that Adroit, they were sticking around for a little bit too long, decided they wanted to engage. They had Global Silence available. They have amazing catch when it comes to chasing heroes. No Curse, no Ravage, no Stone Gaze. What do you do if you're Adroit? It doesn't matter if you have the Aegis or Cheese. If you've got no counter initiation, that train isn't stopping.
Yeah, and that's BKB for the course. 4 staff now for Motivate Trust for the Slardar. So you have 2 Force Staff for Motivate Trust as well. Bane is the only one with buyback. Everyone is just dumping their gold into the core items. And Adroit, and off of that, the lead could have been more, but Motivate Trust had the answer. It feels like what happened to Reality Rift yesterday as well.
Yeah.
And Motivate Trust, maybe they are just that good at coming back from a deficit.
Yeah. You could also argue Adroit making that mistake as well, deciding to stay. We've got a replay as well from that team fight too. So this was where everything just went to heck here for Trust. Ooh, wait, we got a smoke.
And I think Motivate Trust wants to keep this choo-choo train going. You catch Adroit out once more, and that's pretty much it, because Natsumi has no buyback. He invested go into his core items, and he had no
hold your
Aegis.
horses, Huskkiee. We got smoke versus smoke.
And again, full ultimates. Here comes Crippling Fear with Global Sight. They need to stick on the Tidehunter though. He's going to use his Grief. Immediate engage into the backline. Can they kill the Winter Wyvern? They found Matt with the Fiend's Grave. They kill him off. And now Samuel has to get out. Winter's Curse is out as well, but they don't have anything for him. Double kill for Jackie. Full disengage from Adroit. They weren't able to get their ultimates out, and now it's kind of useless. They have to use it defensively. Natsumi with the Stone Gauge is just going to get himself out of there. Adroit, they can't fight.
They got the high ground advantage. Trust, they had all the vision in the world, whereas unfortunately for Adroit, being on the low ground, they didn't know where everyone was coming from. And once they clashed, Trust knew that they had the vision advantage, so went straight into their Void Spirit just melted. He went into the team fight. He thought, it's okay, I'm very elusive, I can get out of here. No, you're going to get gripped, son. It ends up dying, unfortunately. And Adroit, they're starting to make some really big mistakes.
And Bane, he has the gem, but they'll kill him all. Great Ravage finds 4 people. They lose the Bane, but here comes the Silence again. Q. Jump Tri Lane with the Slithering Crush onto Boomy, but he has the Enchant Total and Aftershock. So Q is going to give his life away for this. Bit more of a commitment, but gets Jackie out alive. So
A little too excited there.
yeah, both cores from Motivate Trust survived, so I still think it's okay, but definitely could have been prevented. They lost the gem though, so Adroit got what they were coming for at least.
Lincoln's is now up on the Medusa, so now you can't just simply go in with the Ricky. You gotta actually have something else pop the Lincolns. Do they have anything they could use to just pop it? All of their spells are really important though.
They can blink, use Corrosive Haze, like low
Yeah,
cooldown.
you kind of don't want to just use Corrosive Haze. You want the effect.
Yeah, I mean you pop it. The cooldown is so short, right? You can just pop it and then go back onto him. It's probably the easiest way to pop the Lincoln Sphere. I was about to commend Motivate Trust though. They just went past Natsumi to kill out the Winter Wyvern in that fight. They kind of won them the engagement, but
Yeah.
Adroit trading back. Natsumi queuing on the Divine Rapier. This is the current build for Medusa right now. Just go for the Divine True Strike. Pretty easy with Butterfly. They got another smoke for themselves with the gem. I think Adroit still is in the driver's seat.
Yep, Greaves finally completed on the Tidehunter. So he's going to be able to purge off that silence from the Silencer. Is Silencer going for the double global silence? He's going for Hex instead. Okay.
I think Hex is slightly better.
It's better.
Kind of need the damage. He only got
He needs disables. if
and
anything.
disables.
Yeah, their team needs more disables.
He only got like +4 intelligence from
Yeah.
2 fights. So
Because we're not really seeing too much from the Silencer. He's sitting
another smoke.
behind. We don't really see Fearless unless he's just allowed to DPS.
You see them, another blink in. They found it. Global silence. This time, Ghost Scepter is going to keep the Winter Wyvern alive for now. Stonegate. Oh no, Fearless. He's been turned into stone. Gorgon trying to shoot him down. Jackie on the mega kill streak though. They still kill the Winter Wyvern. They put Q, gets put to sleep, but Adroit, do they want to look for this fight? No Ravage just yet.
No Winter's
Stonegate.
Curse. All their spells,
Oh.
they're gone. They've got Echo on the Earth Shaker
Guardian
though.
Sprint and Frost Staff. You can't find Q. They might go for re-engage, and here we go. Echo Slam used, but to no avail. He has to buy back now without Echo Slam. They got Mac as well. Mac has to use himself up. And Motivate Trust still can kind of disengage. Another crush, but great dissimulate, and here comes the Ravage. Onto the members of Motivate Trust, and Adroit want to turn this around. They want to kill off Q. Q is going to dash away with his Guardian Sprint. Jackie still survives in that fight, but I don't think Fearless can make it out. One more gush should do the job. Fearless trying to go for the juke. They found him. Here comes the Aether Remnant. Astral Stab, use him out. And the Silencer will go
4
down.
seconds for the Hurricane Pike. He wasn't going to get out of there. They couldn't use that opening. There was such a small opening for them. If they could have assassinated those heroes a little bit quicker, they would have gotten the kills. But no, Ravage came out. They just couldn't get it, even though the Shaker whiffed his Echo. It looked like it was going to be very bad there for Adroit, but they managed to recover. They were in a really good position. They never got caught out together. No multi-man crushes. Adroit, they're hanging on.
Actually, Q survived that. The Guardian Sprint is so strong, but Jackie,
Assassinating? Yes.
he has the Ghost Scepter, so it's not going to be that easy. They forced the buyback from Fearless.
He wants to come in from the back. He wants to be sneaky.
This is what Adroit is really good at. You can kind of keep doing this.
There's no Ravage.
No big, only Stone Gaze and Winter's Curse, but
He could come in from the back.
they're going to lose that Rex for sure. They don't have a way to engage for now. And I think they're too scared. Okay, Medusa gets put to sleep, but there's a fissure there. And Aether Remnant. Adroit looking for the disengage. Motivate Trust.
Oh, they're going low ground?
This is pretty dangerous though.
Oh, the Bane. I don't know if they have vision. They're backing up.
Here
They're
we go.
going to play it
They got
safe.
Boomy.
Ooh.
Here comes the silence. Where's the blinking? Another silence could blink
Look at
this
the low
time.
ground
Oh
silencer.
no! They found a silencer again. The Astral Stab immediately. The Ghost Scepter keeping the Winter Wyvern alive. Stone Gaze is out though. BKB pop by the Night Stalker, but Boombiao with a grip just to keep Mac in place for now. Jackie's gonna run and try and fight Mac and Natsumi, but I don't think he's gonna get it. Dissimulate, he's gonna get Mac out.
He's
Jackie is
alone.
still going though. Blink in. Void. They get the triple kill for the Night Stalker, but can Night Stalker get out? They have the crush available. And I think Motivate Trust. They can still fight this if they want to, but play it safe.
Although I think they want to go for the wraparound. Are they?
Ricky is.
They're thinking
Ricky's
about
coming?
it. Are they doing?
Nah.
No?
I
They're probably thinking about it.
Yeah, they were, but they were like, maybe not.
Well, luckily for Adroit, they didn't lose their main 2 heroes. They've taken their axes, so objective taken. Don't need to lose anything else. But for Trust, I think if they managed to run into them, they would have tried to go for the re-engage, but it was just too dark.
Yeah, I think in that situation, it's for Motivate Trust, it's just you only have so many chances that you can run at the supports before the fight ended, and that was a good scenario for them. They managed to keep the Night Stalker and Ricky alive. They lost the Silencer, which is okay as long as Global Silence was used. But at the same time, they also realized it's getting harder and harder to kill off
There's
the
the
Medusa.
Divine Rapier also, and Medusa picked up the 1000 mana talent, so
what a-
she's tanky.
And they have ravaged Winter's Curse. The courier.
Oh, they've got to hurry up.
Oh, they
got
need
no
to back up
vision.
now. Oh, the silence. They silenced him. They had to give away Masaru's life for this, just to prevent the Ravage. Here comes the Gush. Close call for Motivate Trust, but this Roshan is going to be controlled by Adroit at this point. They don't have the global silence for another 10 seconds.
They got to delay. They have to delay for 10 seconds.
Do they see the rapier though?
They would have seen it on the illusion.
Yeah, they have to. But yeah, the Roshan.
They couldn't. I think the illusion cancelled the Slaughter's blink dagger there.
Was it the axe? Or was it refresher? Because it's a third Roshan, right? I want to see if it's the axe upgrade or the refresher shard. If it's the refresher, then you have so many good spells for the refresher.
We'll see if we can. We'll
So
see if the
that
observer
she's-
can
oh,
find it.
okay, so it's the axe.
Ah, okay, there we go.
Oh, okay, axe on. I actually like the axe on Medusa because you turn everyone to stone with the Mystic Snake. It's like a free stone gaze. Adroit with the newfound Divine Rapier. Just look at the structured root damage. I don't-
Oh, smack behind. Oh, they've engaged in the back.
Wait, what? Q.
Q went in with the crush.
Yeah, he has to get away. Global Silence is out. They kill the Winter Wyvern, so no Winter's Curse. No Ravage. They still have the Echo Slam though to simulate from Mag to get out alive, but Winter Wyvern will buy back into this fight. They need to win this right away. Global Silence is out. They get the Phoenix Grip onto Mag to kill him off. +4 for Fearless once more, and Mag now has to buy back. It's his turn to rejoin the fight. Masaru's gonna buy time. They lose the Bane, but another hole from Motivate Trust.
Oh, they
but
found Jackie.
why are you dead? Divine Rapier too strong. It's going to get caught by the Echo. Double kill for the Medusa. And
No
he has no
buyback.
buyback.
Oh no, he was 800 gold away as well.
This could be the end game.
Yeah, looks like it. And they're going to try and fish out the buyback, but I think once they realize he's got no buyback, they're just going to end the game.
If he doesn't
Nope.
buy back now, the game is over.
They're finishing it. Yep, they want to finish. They're saying, nope, we don't want to take more Raxes. We just want to end the game here and now.
Oh, what a Force Staff. The Simulate, they're going to finish off Fearless. And yeah, Fearless is not going to get out. And Adroit off the back of amazing team fight and one Divine Rapier. They force the GG out. Motivate Trust call it, and Adroit takes this 1-0.
Oh my goodness. Trust played incredibly well though, considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
Adroit, they spend most of their time just 5-manning, staying together, relying on both the Winter Wyvern, the Tidehunter, and the Medusa to just counter-initiate any sort of jump-ins. But as the game got later and later, I think Trust, they started to realize what was happening. So I love that they were trying to focus on the Winter Wyvern to prevent the Winter's Curse from coming out, because she was just sitting at the back, trying to stay protected. But Ricky would jump on, Jackie doing a really good job trying to kill her off. But I think just eventually everyone got too many items, there were too many defensive mechanisms, they couldn't kill anyone instantly, and there would always be something to stop the fight and force Trust to run away, which if you're Adroit, you want to snipe them off as they're trying to get away from the Stone Gaze.
Yeah, and I think the best fight for Motivate Trust was probably the one from the base towards the river, where Adroit overcommitted, but just those small pickoffs that gave Adroit the edge, and the Divine Rapier was definitely one of the biggest factors. No one even attempted to commit onto Natsumi. They just want to kill everyone else on Adroit's side.
Well, they knew if they tried to commit to Natsumi, it would just take them way too long to kill the Medusa. They didn't have any way to just instantly burst her from 100 to 0. So it's either you kill the supporting cast, who are much weaker than Natsume, but you also need to survive through the fights. I feel like one weakness of the draft was Silencer was a pretty good hero in there. I feel like the global silence is very important for the engagements, but one of the weaknesses was they lacked disables. Something I noticed during the team fights was that you would see Jackie try and come in, he would snipe the Wyvern, but then he had to pop the BKB to go in and kill the Wyvern. Then he would waste about 3 seconds of BKB timing just to find someone else to attack, because they just didn't have any kind of disable to lock heroes in place for Jackie to quickly jump onto. And so the Silencer could have been better, I think, but I'm not sure. They kind of put themselves in a bit of a predicament by picking up that hero.
But I also feel like if it's the OD, it would be... Then you don't have the global silence factor. It will be harder to engage. I'm actually still fine with the silencer pick. It's just that when it came down to the bigger picture, Adroit still had the advantage the later the game goes.
They had 3 ways to counter-initiate.
Yeah, and Jackie played amazing. I think that's the nature of Ricky, right? You can't just commit 100%. You can't just constantly commit. You have to kill someone off, back off, go invisible and look for another target.
Yeah, ideally, if he could, though, he would love to just constantly chase after heroes, but it was too difficult. There was just so much Adroit they just wasted his time, pretty much. They just wasted the BKB timing. It didn't matter if he had the BKB. You just kill one hero and then no BKB for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and the Talent Silver actually helped out Natsumi for in a huge way.
Yes.
They were not able to kill her off in any way, and he only had one death the entire game, despite Motivade's effort to flush him out of the jungle, just collapse onto him after they blew one Aegis, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I think after seeing this game, if you're Trust, probably going to have to change their strat here, because you don't want to go for the similar strat where you focus mainly on trying to go for the little pick-offs. They need their own counter initiation. Team fights are huge.
Yep, and we are going to show you guys the featured player from that last game. It's definitely Natsumi.
Natsumi, I don't think Natsumi would be MVP without his teammates.
Yeah.
Like, he did great. He did what Medusa had to do, but I do feel like we've got to give props to the rest of the team. They were the ones that actually let Natsumi do
They
what
were
he was
taking
doing.
the bullet. CML had 11 deaths, and all those 11 deaths were just Masaro's jumping onto him. But of course, we've talked about Natsumi as well. He's one of those position 1 that just shines in most situations. I think deservingly, because of the nature of Medusa, he deserves some credit, right, for this feature.
Yeah, but it's
He
Medusa.
survived a lot of fight. I was surprised that the early dives didn't kill him off. He was able to...
He was finding farm,
Yeah,
even though Silencer... I looked at the denies, and I think it was like... Medusa had the same farm as Silencer, but Silencer had, I think it was 15 to 18 denies over the Medusa, but they were still the same level, so he was clearly finding farm somewhere.
Yeah, in the jungle, I think Motivate Trust had the right idea, right? You take control of the safe lane jungle, you try to invade the bottom jungle, but I think after that one sour fight, they just decided, I don't think we can, and the 20-minute gem from Boomy basically prevented Motivate Trust from even invading.
Yeah, so I think maybe going into the next game, Trust maybe try a different strategy. The idea was good. I love their aggression, but I feel like you need something else with the aggression to really make it work.
Yep, exactly, and we'll see if Motivate Trust does do just that. But we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, it will be Game 2 of this upper bracket best of 3. We'll be right back.